When you think of the rarest vehicles on the planet, what comes to mind? A Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic maybe? A Ferrari 250 GTO? Cars with swooping lines, monstrous engines, and price tags that look more like a country's GDP. These are the titans of the auction block, the darlings of concours lawns. But what if I told you that one of the rarest American brand pickups ever built wasn't a high-performance monster or a limited edition luxury liner? What if I told you it was a humble, blue-collar workhorse built for a single, unglamorous job and sold for a premium of just $700? This is the story of a ghost, a machine so scarce most people don't even know it exists. Here is the 1962 GMC 960 Railroad Crew Cab, and it's believed only 6 were ever made. They truly don't make them like this anymore. To understand this phantom truck, we have to go back to the early 1960s. The American pickup was hitting its stride, but it was still, first and foremost, a tool. It was an instrument of labor, designed to haul, to tow, to work from sunup to sundown without complaint. Comfort was an afterthought. Luxury was a foreign concept. The standard offering was a single cab, 2 doors, and a bench seat. That was the formula. If you needed to move more than 3 people, you took a car, or you piled them in the bed. But what if your work demanded more? What if you needed to move a full crew of workers and their heavy equipment to a remote, unforgiving location? That was the exact problem facing the Canadian National Railway in 1962. Their maintenance crews worked on vast, desolate stretches of track, often miles from the nearest road. They needed a vehicle that could carry a 6-man crew, plus all their tools and gear, in a single, rugged package. No standard pickup on the market could do that. So they did what any resourceful company did back then. They commissioned something new. They didn't go to a massive design studio in Detroit. They went to a GMC dealership in Vancouver, British Columbia, a place called Duck-on-Terminal. This wasn't a factory-line product. This was a custom job, born out of pure necessity. The solution Duex Workshop devised was both brutally simple and remarkably clever. They took a brand new GMC 960 3-ton chassis, a real heavy hauler. Then, they took 2 standard single cabs, fresh from the factory, and with the skill of industrial surgeons, they cut them apart and welded them together. They grafted the back half of one cab onto the full body of another, creating a massive 4-door cabin that could swallow a whole work crew. The result was utilitarian to its core. The rear doors were of the suicide variety, hinged at the back, allowing for a wide-open space to load men and equipment without a cumbersome B-pillar in the way. Inside, there were no creature comforts. You got 2 vinyl bench seats, a simple dashboard with the barest of essentials, and rubber mats on the floor that you could hose out at the end of a long, grimy day. There was no chrome trim, no fancy 2-tone paint, no radio. Its only purpose was to work. Powering this beast was likely GMC's venerable 305 cubic-inch V6 engine. This wasn't a high-revving, horsepower-hungry V8. This was a stump-pulling torque monster designed for low-end grunt. It was known for its durability and its ability to lug heavy loads without breaking a sweat, which was exactly what the railroad needed. These trucks were industrial-grade tools, through and through. The Canadian National Railway ordered a small batch. The exact number is lost to the fog of history, but the consensus among historians and die-hard GMC fanatics is that only 6 of these special crew cabs were ever built. Think about that for a moment. Ferrari built 36 of their legendary 250 GTOs. Lamborghini built just over 760 Miuras. 6. That's a number so small, it's barely a rounding error in modern automotive production. The reason so few were made is simple. It was a one-off order for a single client with a very specific need. There was no public market for a four-door work truck in 1962. The idea of a pickup as a family vehicle was still decades away. Once Canadian National had its small fleet, the production line, which was really just a corner of a Vancouver workshop, shut down. The story should have ended there. These 6 trucks went into service, living hard lives in the harsh Canadian climate. They were beaten, bruised, and worked to the bone. Day in and day out, they rumbled along service roads next to the endless steel rails, their beds full of spikes, hammers, and sweat-soaked work gloves. In the world of fleet vehicles, there is no sentimentality. When a truck gets old, when it rusts through, when the engine finally gives up the ghost, it's sent to the scrapyard. Its metal is recycled, and it's replaced by the next tool for the job. For decades, it was assumed that all 6 of the GMC railroad trucks met this exact fate. They were forgotten, a mere footnote in GMC's long history, known only to a handful of hardcore truck enthusiasts. They became ghosts. Then, the impossible happened. A whisper, a rumor, a barn find. Somewhere, in the Canadian wilderness, one had survived. Imagine pulling open the heavy, creaking doors of a long-abandoned barn. The air is thick with the smell of dust, old hay, and decay. Sunlight cuts through the gloom, illuminating a shape under a canvas tarp. You pull it back, and there it is. Not a classic Corvette or a long-lost muscle car, but something far, far rarer. A hulking 4-door behemoth with faded railway paint and the unmistakable patina of decades of hard labor and quiet neglect. This is the moment collectors dream of. The one surviving example, confirmed and documented, underwent a full restoration, bringing it back to its former, unglamorous glory. It's now a rolling piece of history, a testament to a time when form followed function with absolute devotion. The truck that was once a $700 add-on to a work order is now, for all intents and purposes, priceless. You simply cannot find another one. It's an artifact. So why does this obscure, forgotten work truck matter so much? Because it represents a pivotal moment we didn't even know was happening. It was one of the very first true crew cab pickups. It was a preview of the future, a future where the pickup truck would evolve from a simple tool into the do-it-all family vehicle, work truck, and status symbol it is today. But it did so without any pretense. It wasn't trying to be cool. It wasn't trying to start a trend. It was just trying to get a job done. There's an honesty in its design that is deeply appealing. The welds that join the 2 cabs are a physical reminder of its handmade origins. The Spartan interior speaks of a focus on durability over comfort. Every inch of this truck tells a story of hard work, of practical problem-solving, and of a world that has largely vanished. In an age of trucks with heated leather seats, massive touchscreens, and price tags approaching 6 figures, the 1962 GMC Railroad Crew Cab is a grounding force. It reminds us of what a truck was originally meant to be, a dependable partner in labor. It wasn't designed to be preserved. It wasn't built to be collected. It was built to be used up and thrown away. And that, ironically, is what makes the lone survivor so incredibly special. It's an accidental icon, a blue-collar ghost that outlasted its own planned obsolescence to become a legend. It's a quiet, humble giant that is rarer, more mysterious, and in many ways more interesting than the most exotic supercars in the world. They really, truly don't make them like that anymore. And we're all a little poorer for it. Thank you for watching Rust and Chrome. Like and subscribe for more videos like this and to support the channel.